Vishtam Vishnupa Rashtarshatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Narayan Gosvāmī Māhārāja Shila Gurudev Ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishtam Vishnupa Rashtarshatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Vāmana Gosvāmī Māhārāja Ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishtam Vishnupa Rashtarshatashmad Shila Bhaktivedānta Swami Māhārāja Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishtam Vishnupa Rashtarshatashmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupa Rashtarshatashmad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Goksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Sarva Bhoma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Dashagunath, Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund Ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagat Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranam, Gargraj Ji, Rup Manjari Didi, Veseshwari Mataji, Hari Bol. All right, so we're continuing on. Now, letter 53. Finding Peace. These are letters by Srila Vāmana Goswami Maharaj. Finding Peace by envisioning Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. Oh wait, I want to check the sounds really quick. Hey Manjari, Haribol, Gaur Haribol. 1 second. Let me just make sure my new fancy mic is working. Haribol, Haribol. Okay. Finding peace by envisioning Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. Surrendering one's mind and spirit is the best donation. Love cannot be revealed before everyone, nor can bhajan. Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan are in our heart, so our prayers are always heard. Consoling words to a disciple. This is written in 1979, Assam. Vasudev Gauriamat. Snehaspadas. I received a letter from you many days. I should have replied to your kind letter much sooner. Forgive me for failing to reply in a timely fashion. Your piteous weeping rends everyone's heart. You wrote referring to yourself as my fallen daughter. I sometimes have single quotes and sometimes double quotes, and it's not always consistent. So I always need to look out for these single quotes. Okay, you wrote referring to yourself as my fallen daughter. In the shower of your tears, even the heart of a stone-hearted person such as myself is torn asunder. Sri Bhagavan shall fulfill your heart's desires. Maintain powerful enthusiasm and forbearance within your heart. If you envision the smiling faces of Sri Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and remember their instructions and teachings, you will find peace of mind at all times, in all circumstances. Wow, it's beautiful. I think there's a similar quote like this. Anyways, I'm going to save this. This is... One second. This is letter 53, right? I think so. Oops. Okay. Is it letter 50? Yeah. Okay. I went to Kashinagar for the occasion of the deity installation, which was held on Akshay Tritiya during the month of Vaishakha, May. At that time, there was no opportunity to converse with you properly. It seems that you have become dissatisfied with me because of that. I hope that you have understood the gravity of my situation. I hope you have understood the gravity of my situation then, and have forgiven me. I presumed that perhaps you were angry with me and feeling indignant, but that notion was dispelled upon receiving your letter. Because you always weep, I keep saying, to give you consolation, O mother, please do not cry. Sri Bhagavan shall certainly bestow auspiciousness upon you. Do not be upset that you have no wealth or money and therefore cannot donate anything for service. Sri Hari and Guru are served through life force, intellect, words, and wealth. Those who do not have wealth will serve with their words, intellect, and life force. To surrender one's mind and spirit to Sri Gurudev and Bhagavan is the most excellent donation, the greatest wealth. Only if you are able to cry anxiously for Sri Gurudev and Bhagavan shall you obtain the fruit of having offered everything to them. In that, your heart shall find joy and peace. What you wrote is the truth. In this, there is no one to call your own except for Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan. If we can make them our own, then only will our lives be successful and all our efforts blessed. Therefore the Mahājans have sung, Tava nija jan parama bandhava sangsara karagare. Your personal associates are our greatest friends in this jailhouse of material existence. It is essential for us to have this realization from our core. Loving attachment cannot be revealed before everyone, as it is an exchange of hearts. It is for this reason that shedding tears in the presence of ordinary people often becomes cause for criticism and misunderstanding. Many find opportunity for cutting remarks, mockery, and the like. Therefore, specific instructions have been provided regarding proper time, place, and circumstance in performing Hari Bhajan. As Sri Guru, the Vaishnavas and Bhagavan are omniscient and present within the heart. They accept our moods and intentions. Therefore, our every cry, whether in front of them or out of their sight, truly reaches them. Isn't that so beautiful? I've shared this quote before a couple times. I'm just going to reread this again. As Sri Guru, the Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan are omniscient and present within the heart, they accept our moods and intentions. Therefore, our every cry, whether in front of them or out of their sight, truly reaches them. Sri Bhagavan has sat down for his meal in Dwarka. Rukmini Devi is serving him. But at that moment, from Vrindavan, Kamyavan, the sound of Draupadi's cry reached Dwarka over 1,000 miles away. You have written that 1979 was the year your money was squandered, and you even received the punishments of Yamapuri, the city of death. Oops, that does not need to be. As long as one has a body, there will be unhappiness, misery, sickness, disease, suffering, and torment. Perhaps you only went to the hospital because you had to. What you wrote is true. Hospitals are like pits of hell, where you suffer only hellish torture. The stench makes it unbearable to breathe, and people are dying and writhing in pain before your eyes. It is truly horrific. I understand that they even left you in the cold room. It was Sri Bhagavan alone who protected you. You must never forget Sri Gurudev and Bhagavan, and you must faithfully perform Hari Bhajan. You have wanted to know whether your fortune will be like that of blank and blank. Though born to a wealthy family, What kind of service and bhajan are they performing? Meanwhile, your inner cries are staying just there, inside you. Is it not possible for someone without money to perform Hari Bhajan? Why are you upset because you could not give me a donation this time? This anxious fervor of your heart is certainly felt by Guru and Vaishnavas, who are compassionate. Although you have no worldly wealth, Sri Bhagavan will see how you are crying and bless you with supreme transcendental wealth. There is no doubt about it. I understand that despite being my mother, you are not getting the chance to serve me by cooking for me with your own hands. I will come to your cottage and relish the prasad cooked by your own hands. This hope of yours will be fulfilled. Kirtan and class will be held. Invite as many devotees as you can. Surely you will be able to feed 8 to 10 devotees. We will certainly come to your home and take prasad. You have no worries. I am reassuring you. And please do not be angry with me for taking so long to reply. Without concern, without anxiety, chant Harinam. Maintain a practice of studying a little of scripture. A little of scripture? A little scripture. Maintain a practice of studying a little scripture as time permits. Sing the songs of the Mahājans. Chant your Gayatri at the 3 junctions of the day. We are honored to be invited to the house of Vidura to partake of the foodstuffs prepared by the hand of Vidurani. We will be satisfied by just tasting your leafy greens and rice. I will go with the party to Kashinagar around the 20th of this upcoming month of Posha, December, January. At that time, I will come to your house one day and take prasad. Class, kirtan, and so on will also be held there. Is there supposed to be a comma there? I don't actually know. For those who have no one else in this world, Sri Bhagavan, Sri Guru, and the Vaishnavas are their only aid. Why have you written that you are unfortunate? Those men and women who immerse their minds in Hari Bhajan by taking shelter of a bona fide Guru are the fortunate ones. Their births are blessed and meaningful. Selfish, worldly people are forever criticizing devotees. You have nothing to gain or lose from that. May my fallen daughters and my crazy sons continue to serve Sri Hari in happiness and peace. The all-auspicious Sri Bhagavan will certainly see to their welfare. Know that I will never be indifferent to you. Know that I will never be indifferent to your waking late in the night and expressing in hints the incoherent nonsense of inner pain. May Sri Bhagavan grant me the intelligence to at least be able to consider the simplicity of your heart. What is of particular concern is that the son of a crazy mother and father does not become crazy in the end. If even after obtaining Sri Guru and Vaishnavas as your sons, you still feel childless, then you should accept the arrangement of making Sri Gopal Krishna himself your son, because such a son will never die, nor will he cause you to weep. By accepting Sri Bhagavan as our mother and father, our child and friend, our husband and our supreme master, we will never have to fall victim to mundane sorrow and delusion. So know him know him to be your one and only son. He will never be the cause of sorrow and suffering for you. All of you, please accept my unlimited affectionate blessings. We are doing okay. Here I conclude. Your ever well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. That needs to be switched with iti. Haribo Madhavi Didi and Rohit Radhakrishnan ji. Okay, now letter 54. That was a beautiful letter though, wasn't it? We published that in one of the Rays of the Harmonists. Okay. Instructions on chanting the holy name. The bliss derived from chanting cannot be expressed to anyone. The mercy of Shri, Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas is essential. The qualification to perform Nam Kirtan. Praying to be absorbed and meditating on Shri Shri Radha Govinda. Snehaspadasu. Ma, I hope that by the grace of Bhagavan you are all well. After leaving Shri Meghalaya Mat, After leaving Shri Meghalaya Mat with a party on 2979, I went preaching in Dhubri, Gauripur, Golakganj, Vilasipara, Vasugaon, and other places, and then arrived at this address 3 or 4 days ago. From here, I will go preaching in Koch Bihar. I will be in Saptagram on the 10th of Kartik, then Golokganj. After that, 18th, I will go to Dhubri. From there, I will reach the Shiliguri Mat in the first week of Agrahayan Mas, November-December, via Jalpaiguri, Mainaguri, and Matabanga. Afterwards, I will return to Navadip by the first week of Posha, January-February, via Chittaranjan, Asansol, and Bardhaman. I am particularly delighted to know that you are chanting 1 lakh nam, 100,000 names, or 64 rounds. That you're chanting 1 lakh nam, or 64 rounds, every day. You must put all manner of tasks aside and chant 1 lakh daily, perform puja and archana of the deity, study various sacred texts, and go to the mat to take advantage of hearing Shri Harikatha. This is the special purpose of Krishna's sangsar, Bhagavan's sangsar. Many people believe that 1 laksha of nam, means setting one's lakshya, focus, and chanting. So many people believe that 1 laksha of nam means setting one's lakshya, one's focus, and chanting. Okay, but that is a one-sided notion. Chanting a fixed amount of Sri Nam means chanting with a steady heart, crying and weeping anxiously. One must complete one's fixed number of rounds in that manner, with absorption. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu gave his devotees the instruction to 1 lakh of Nam daily. Namacharya Haridas Thakur used to chant 3 lakh of Nam daily. The 6 Gosvāmīs and Acharyas under their guidance have all put importance on Sri Nama Japa. This is sadhan bhajan, a part of Abhyas Yoga. If one utters Shuddhanam, the pure holy name, with a tongue composed of pure consciousness, then one obtains direct audience of Nami Parabrahma Shri Bhagavan and the qualification to serve him directly. At first, when the sadhak and sadhika still have anarthas, they cannot chant Shuddhanam as they keep chanting Namaparad. But if they keep chanting like that in a manner that is full of attachment, then they obtain Namabhas, and later Shuddhanam manifests in their hearts. Whether or not you are chanting Shuddhanam is something you will be able to realize yourself at some point. When eating, it is not appropriate to ask if your stomach is full or not, because by eating, your stomach fills up, and if you do not eat properly, your stomach stays hungry. You don't need to explain to everyone, though, exactly how you fill your stomach. Just as a person who is eating experiences satisfaction, nourishment, and the alleviation of hunger with every morsel, only the sadhak or sadhika can experience and realize within their heart the bliss they are deriving from chanting Sri Nam. It is not possible to explain this to anyone. Besides the mercy of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, there is no other route by which we will attain our ultimate auspiciousness. This is why it has been said in invocation, Hari Guru Vaishnava Tine Ran, Tine Smarana Hoy, Vigna Vinashan. By remembering Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, all obstacles are destroyed. Tasmat Sarva Pratnena Gurum Eva Prasadayet. In all endeavors, one must aim to please Guru. Charya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payachikeva. Who has ever attained deliverance by abandoning the service of the devotees? By any means, we must become illuminated in the service and merciful gaze of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, and absorb our minds in bhajan of Krishna. Yena kenapyupayena mana Krishne niveshayet. This is the quintessence. How come we do not give a translation here? We should totally give a translation. This is the quintessence. If we gain the mercy of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, we gain success in sadhan bhajan. The qualification for mercy is simplicity and absence of duplicity. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna sara. Karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya prana na rakhi voyara. In considering my qualifications, I find nothing. Your mercy is essential. If you are not merciful to me, weeping and weeping, I will no longer maintain my life. This sort of humility is what grants the qualification to attain mercy. Knowingly and unknowingly, we commit so many types of mistakes, errors, offenses, and wrongs towards Guru and Vaishnavas. However, Tomastani aparadha tumi korokshoy. You expunges committed to you. Besides this prayer, we have no other recourse. Giving satisfaction to Sri Guru and Vaishnavas is service, and that is bhajan sadhan. Only if we obtain their causelessly merciful glance will our condition of material existence dissipate and the attainment of Bhagavad Bhakti or Bhagavat Prem be possible. If you understand that humility is the ornament or decoration of the Vaishnav or Bhakta, then someday you will be able to abandon pride and mundane ego. There are 4 qualities that are absolutely necessary to obtain the qualification to perform Sri Nam Kirtan. Danya Daya Anyaman Pratishta Varjan Chari Gune Guni Hoy Koroho Kirtana. Endowed with the qualities of humility, compassion, respect for others, and shunning prestige, perform kirtan. In the conditioned state, in the material existence wrought by Maya, we simply must tolerate blow after blow. In the midst of that, the idea, I came to this world to worship Krishna, Krishna bhaji bharatare sangsara ainu, will transport us to our real objective. You have heard so much harikatha from the Vaishnavas, which is why you have written such beautiful tattva siddhanta. If you do not hear, how will you do kirtan? When I come to know harikatha, then I will be able to write you something. Even now I have not come to know, learn, and understand it. Once that concludes, there will be no purpose in conversing with all of you. Then, silently, with closed eyes, I will remain absorbed in meditation on Sri Radha Govinda. Convey to me and tell me in a simple manner, without hesitation, all of your joys and sorrows. That way, your burdened heart will become light. You will be able to perform Sri Nam without concerns. Then you will genuinely be able to sing Sangsara Pukara Kanena Poshibe Dehoroga Dure Robe. The call of material existence will not enter my ears, and the disease of this body will remain far away. Accept my affectionate blessings. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 55. Yeah, aren't they? Rohit, gee. The power of living in the Dham, embarrassed about receiving worship. Real pratishtha is being a devoted disciple. This is written in Shiliguri in 1979. Snehaspadasu. Ma Uma. Brahmi bodha dashavane rasa keli je stane premaveshe gada gadi diya shudhaibo jane jane vrajavasi ganasthane nivedibo charane doriya nivedibo charane dhoriya. I will roam the 12 forests, and wherever the Lord's loving took place, I will roll in the dust in the rapture of divine love. I will inquire from all the Vrajavasis about the pastimes that took place there, and supplicate myself before them, clutching their feet. Though the exalted, eternally perfected souls want for nothing, they pray in this manner so that let me reread that. Though the exalted, eternally perfected souls want for nothing, they pray in this manner so that conditioned souls may be liberated from bondage. The importance and influence of time, place, and subject must surely be taken into account. Although one cannot appreciate the pure transcendence of the Lord's pastimes in the preliminary stages, one who is of pure heart will obtain a glimpse of the divine Sri Dham's true form. The speciality of the Dham is that it establishes even those who are unworthy in their respective spiritual qualifications. As one understands the forests of Goda and Vraj to be identical, one gains the eligibility to live within Sri Dham and comes to realize its transcendence and its true form. The pinnacle of all achievement is to attain the service to the youthful couple of Vraj, Shri Shri Radha Govinda, under the guidance of their beloved maidservants. Prior to last year's Dole festival, I reviewed and submitted several proofs of Sri Chaitanya Panjika. Oh, this is so great. Oh God, this is one of Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj's one amazing glory is on his Vyas Puja. He used to always disappear, and he'd take one sevak with him, and nobody would know where he'd go. He just without saying anything to anybody, all of a sudden he was not there anymore. So, none of the proofs for the month of Agrahayan, December onwards, were shown to me. Suddenly, one day Shripad Narayan Maharaj said, "Your appearance day has been included in the calendar this time." I could not be very pleased to hear this and come to know of it, because personally, during my Guru Varga's presence and also in their absence, I have never, in my heart, craved profit, adoration, or prestige. Many people think it seems like I have requested and made this arrangement, but I am completely opposed to mentioning my date of birth like this. Amito Vaishnava e buddhi hoile amani na boyami. Pratishtashayasi hridaya dushive hoibo niraya gami. Nija shrishta jani uchishta didane habe abhimana bhara. Tai shisha tava thakiya sarvada naloivo pujakara. If I think I am a Vaishnav, I will never become free from the desire for respect. The desire for prestige will come and soil my heart, and I will be set on the path to hell. Actually, I want to move this up after that. And then I will make this capital. Okay. If I think myself superior and allow others to take my remnants, I will become weighted down by arrogance. Therefore, I seek to remain your disciple forever and not accept worship from anyone. This pratishta, or being established in the position of being a devoted, is, by Sri Guru Pad Padma's causeless mercy, what I maintain the honest courage to safeguard. Though you all feel reverence for me in a variety of ways, personally, I feel embarrassed by it. I will not be able to make you understand this. However, surely it is necessary that I too have a sort of independence in my own thoughts. May Sri Bhagavan bless you with auspiciousness. May he grant you all enthusiasm in bhajan and faith in bhakti. Your forbearance and tolerance will surely situate you at the height of honor. Routine study of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jaiva Dharma, Sri Harinam Chintamani, and other such holy literatures is essential. Do not forget to always take advantage of the opportunity to hear Harikatha. Perform pujarchan, deity worship, according to your capacity. To chant a lakh of Sri Nam. I know that you are very, very committed in this regard, but do keep in mind one thing. It is also necessary to get adequate rest. If you do not, your sadhan bhajan will be crippled by poor health. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Wow. That was beautiful. I'll have to make a post about this later. I'll just make a note here for myself. Make a post for letter 55. All right. Hari Bol, Prajumna Prabhu. Yeah, so even though proofreading the calendar is not a very important job, you know, like who cares even if you find a little tiny, like, a little like spelling mistake in a calendar, you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be over. It's not like but Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj would always want to check the calendar. He always made them so that they wouldn't put his Vyas Puja date in there. But one time they missed out that one page, and then they snuck it in there. That was Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj's humility, even though he had thousands and thousands of disciples and was the acharya. He still never liked anybody to follow his Vyas Puja. All right, letter 57. Requirements on the paths of bhajan and life. Who are our real relatives and who are real human beings? I think I'm going to take out all these POs. We could just make these all consistent. Okay. Snehaspadasu. Blank. If the sadhak or sadhika weeps pitifully, Sri Guru and Bhagavan surely respond. There is no cause for any doubt in this regard. The teachings and instructions of Guru and Vaishnavas are certainly the provisions and resources we need on the path of sadhan bhajan. In order to walk the path of life, copious amounts of patience, enthusiasm, and tolerance are necessary. If we do not have those things, there is no way of our attaining real auspiciousness. You are my crazy mother, and therefore, for you, I must go to some trouble. Only you, mother, can say for whether or not your tears have become the ink for my pen. I count two letters I wrote to blank and one letter to you. Does this mean I have more affection for one of you than the other? The lives of those who engage in Hari Bhajan are truly blessed. Never lose your determination. This is my special request. Those who love Sri Bhagavan are not ordinary men and women, as they are not compelled by mundane lusts and wants and obsessions with various dualities. Their sansar is centered solely around Sri Bhagavan. Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan are the objects of their love. That is whom they consider their only wealth and their near and dear relatives. The people of the world are swajanakya dasu, rogues calling themselves your family. They do not understand what the welfare of the soul is. Individuals who are opposed to performing Hari Bhajan are ignorant and suicidal. There is none more pitiful than them in all the world. Those who think that eating, dressing nicely, and living comfortably is all there. Those who think that eating, dressing nicely, and living comfortably is all there is to samsara are kukarmi, vile doers, and karma jada, dulled by action. They are referred to as two-legged animals, or are even regarded as more degraded than animals. Those who perform bhajan of Hari are real men and women, real human beings. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 57. Dandavat Pranam, Zindira Mataji. Letter 57. This is written in 1980. Real service is giving one's love. You do not need wealth to chant Harinam. Oops, that should be a bullet. And this should be capitalized. Okay, you need patience, enthusiasm, faith, determination, and devotion. Practical instructions on education and the value of struggle. The drawback of European instruments. Duties in the month of Kartik. So this is written in 1980. Snehaspadeshu. So Snehaspadeshu, when it says Eshu, it's referring to a male. It says Snehaspadasu, it's referring to a lady. You wrote, how much longer will I have to suffer? True and proper service to Hari is accomplished by giving the love you have inside, and Guru and Vaishnavas are always exceedingly satisfied with that. Those who have wealth serve by that means, and those who do not have wealth will serve with their lives, intelligence, and words. This has been delineated in scripture. If you do not have books and whatnot, I will provide you with them. You do not need wealth to chant Harinam and hear Harikatha. What is needed for that is patience, enthusiasm, faith, determination, and devotion. That way, one can properly associate with sadhus and engage in Nam Kirtan and the other 5 predominant limbs of bhakti. I am happy to know that you are now studying in 12th grade. In the future, ultimate well-being, kalyan, will be yours. Your studies and classes will prove very beneficial when you have to deal with the pressures of further studies and employment. This is because no one gets happiness in this world without suffering, do they? And you will only find Krishna if you undergo a bit of kashta, suffering. Only that which is earned through struggle endures forever. I like this. I'm going to post this. Okay. Sangita Charchar Dwara Prabhu Ananda Vidhan Purvak Kartik Apana Korive. One should spend the month of Kartik delighting the Lord with musical recitations. This statement instructs us to dance, sing, and play instruments before Sri Bhagavan during this time. That, without a doubt, constitutes service to him, and it is by such activity that one avoids rebirth. It is taught that mridanga drums, manjira, and kartal cymbals, conch shells, bells, gongs, etc. are to be used by Vaishnavas. Foreign instruments have rajasic and tamasic qualities that make them rtika. They have an intoxicating quality, and that is part of pleasure and sport. And there's a footnote here. What's Torya Trika mean? It means Torya Trika. Turya, musical instrument, plus Trika, three, refers to the musical triad of song, dance, and instrumental music. Manusmriti 750 lists Torya Trika along with hunting, gambling, sleeping during the day, engaging in criticism, illicit sex, intoxication, and listless wandering as activities born of lust or a craving for pleasure, kamaja. Kirtan that is not performed exclusively for the pleasure of Sri Bhagavan, but for one's own sense gratification, culminating in a partying mood, falls in this category. I'm sharing this on Facebook. Oh God. One second. There should be a hyphen there. Actually, no. Just delete Charanarenu. People know what Shuddha Bhakata is. Okay. What am I doing? I'm going to save this. What letter number is this? 57. Okay. There. 1 second. Letter 57. And I'm going to put this footnote also. Footnote. I'm probably going to upset a lot of people with this quote. I like the heavy stuff, though. It's always my favorite stuff, actually. Even if we don't follow it, it's just always good to know the topmost ideal. And yes, I know these different instruments have their place. Anyways. Conch shells. What? Did it not copy everything? Anyways. Whatever. I'll look this up later. Okay. Yes, that is true, Manjari. That way he got everybody all over in all the West to celebrate his Vyas Puja in a very grand way. Oh, and this should be on the previous line. Okay. Letter 58. Adopting the temple as one's own. And comparative analysis of Goshtanandis and Bhajananandis. There is life in giving oneself to service and preaching. The importance of guidance and frugal expertise in service. This was written in 1980 from Sri Nilachala Gaudiya Math. Snehaspadeshu. Uh-oh. It says Eshu. It should be Asu. Okay. Ma. Today I received your letter dated 5/8/80. As soon as you went there, Sri Nrsinga came here. You are new there, so it is natural for you to experience some inconvenience. Practice performing archan of the deity properly. That well from Harijan Māhārāja. If he shows you for a few days, you'll be able to grasp it well yourself. Besides deity worship, do as many small miscellaneous services as you think possible for you. If you cannot adopt the Mat Mandir as your own, then you cannot execute your service properly. When that pull and attachment comes from every object in the Mat, then only will you be worthy of the title of Sevak. The dharma of the Sevak is not just to fulfill his duties. That mentality has a rajasic mood to it, and the give and take of this earthly realm. Real service is the work the sevak sets his mind to in the mat of his own will for the pleasure of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. There is life in that. This is important. Real service is the work the sevak sets his mind. It's really good. There is life in that. To make his life about seva constitutes the main characteristic of a sevak. Okay, sorry. I'm saving this. What number is this? 58. Okay. True sevaks are of two kinds. The first lives in the Mat Mandir and takes direct responsibility for the service of Guru and Vaishnavas, while the second kind bears the responsibility for preaching Bhagavat Bhagavat Mahima, the glories of the Lord and his devotees. They preach this Bhagavat Bhagavat Mahima from door to door throughout the world. It is a difficult task to determine which of these two types of sevaks is greater and which is lesser. According to the impartial view of scripture, bhajananandis and goshtananandis are both equally engaged in benefiting others. Prahlad Maharaj has noted that the latter of these two is more empathetic and magnanimous, and he has pointed out that the first group is comparatively less magnanimous in their dedication to the benefits of others. From the perspective of sadhan bhajan, neither of these is less than the other. On the other hand, comparatively speaking, achar, practice, and prachar, preaching, are said to be part of the same category. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada has explained, Prana achetar se hetu prachar, pratishta shahin, Krishna gata sabha. Because they are infused with life, they preach. And it's referring to the Brajvasis, if you see the previous two lines of this verse. They have no desire for mundane prestige in their glorification of Krishna. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has also written, Achara prachara namer koroho dui karya. Tumi jagatera guru, tumi jagatera arya. It's tumi sarva guru, not tumi jagatera guru. I'm going to just fix that. Well, I'll ask Amal Krishna if I should fix it. You practice and preach the holy name, so you are a world teacher, venerable for all the world. A reconciliation of both sides of all these various considerations can be determined. Stay near Māhārāja as if you are a young boy and learn how to serve as in an apprenticeship. Then, later on, your expertise in the tasks of service will reveal itself. Oh God, I think this must be a mistake here. It's not to Ma. I think this is right. It is Snehaspadeshu. It is to a boy. But this Ma is a mistake. Yeah, I'm going to remove this highlight and highlight this. I'm going to check this, but I think this has to be removed. This Ma. Delete. Because I was thinking that it seems kind of inappropriate that he's asking him to learn. Srila Vāmana Goswami is asking a lady to learn, how to do this archana and stuff from a sannyasi and to stay close to this Maharaj. But now it makes sense. It's not actually to a lady. Okay, where am if you have guidance of it, okay, sorry. Stay near Maharaj as if you are a young boy and learn how to serve as in an apprenticeship. Then, later on, your expertise in the tasks of service will reveal itself. Vaishnav Dharma is the Dharma of being under guidance. If you have the guidance of Vaishnavas, then everything is yours. And if you are bereft of that guidance, then Shunya Granthi Anchale Bandhan. You have simply tied empty knots in your shawl. If you can act according to the Vaishnav's wishes, you will gain the true welfare of the soul. The ability to continue service expertly, even amidst scarcity and poverty, is characteristic of intelligence. The service of feeding and decorating deities has to be done as prescribed, because seva is established with the central focus of serving Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and the deities. The sevak's skills reveals itself in doing the service nicely with little money. The sevak must pay special attention so that nothing is used in the service of the mat is wasted. Whether you cannot understand the right thing to do in any given service, then ask in a calm and collected manner and find out. Take my affectionate blessings, Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Also, in a couple places in this letter, he says sevak. He says you become sevak, right? Where is it? See, then only will you be worthy of the title sevak. But Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj, all the time, he says sevika to the ladies. So this is to, I'm pretty sure this is to a boy, but I still will get it checked. I'm not going to just. Okay, 59. Praising the tranquility of Bhaidyanath. This doesn't need it. And parikrama with Shripad Narayan Maharaj. Performing parikrama of Raj unseen on the transcendental plane, but still hoping for direct darshan in Navadip. This could probably be worded better. Anyways, whatever. Okay. Snehaspadasu. Ma, your inland letter of 27/11/80 arrived on time at the Kolkata address. It has been there for 4 days since I have received it here. On 6/12/80, we traveled from Shelda on the Muzaffarpur fast passenger train via Jesidi Junction and arrived at Baidyanath, Deogar. Remove this A also. I have come here for 2 months for a bit of a change. I have rented a house named Santosh Ashram for 200 rupees a month. This house is in the middle of Sri Balananda Ashram. It is a very secluded, pleasant, and peaceful environment. All around are temples and gardens of fruits, flowers, and vegetables. I have come to like the place very much. I feel it is very conducive to sadhan bhajan. I was delighted to know you performed proper parikrama and had darshan of Shrimura, Vrindavan, and others. I gather that Shripad Narayan Maharaj took on a fair bit of trouble for you. I was delighted beyond measure to know that he did not let you feel my absence. I would say it is because you performed parikrama without any worries that I have quickly regained my health. If you had not gone on parikrama, then I would have been heartbroken. I would have thought that you did not go just because of me. If you can perform Hari Bhajan without any worries, then my minds can be at peace. I like this. This is letter 59, Gurudev's glories and their relationship. 59. Okay. From what you prayed for in Kamyavan, it seems as if I was not with you. However, I was, as usual, present within you as you went on Van Parikrama, pilgrimage of the forests, and had various darshans. I cannot understand why you could not detect my presence. If you had tried, you would have been able to see me with you. Sitting in Kolkata, I performed parikrama of Vrindavan by mind and had various darshans. Shri Gaur Gopal's Vijay Vigraha was with me, and the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis were following. Regardless, When you have developed the desire to go on Sri Vrajmandal Parikrama again in the association of Pranay Bhaktas, loving devotees, Sri Bhagavan will surely fulfill it. When I am your everything, then surely it is only right that your heart's desires be fulfilled, and so they will be. Oh, wow. I'm going to add this on. This is a good one. Okay. Okay, I'm adding this to that. Okay. Haribo, Janardhan Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Great. Manjuri needed to hear that today. Okay, I am well at present. You are not to worry for me anymore. Now has come the time for me to worry about you. You will see me in good health in Navadip for Sri Vyas Puja. I am also hoping I will be healthy for Sri Dham Navadip Parikrama as well. During the last Parikrama, I could not go anywhere. I did not even have the fortune of having darshan of Sri Dham Mayapur. This time, I hope to have darshan. It is not good to have too much hope to start with, because the fear is that man proposes, disposes. Please accept my affectionate blessings. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 60. Praises of Vaidyanath and surrounding area. How to deal with physical illness. The fortune of associating with Vaishnavas. Srila Māhārāja's natural humility. Assertions of individual free will in a political situation. Unheeded warnings about taking on the service of deities. Harsh words about a devious pujari. Shri Vaishnava Charane Dandavan Nati Purvikeyam. We don't need to have this translation, I don't think, because blank Prabhu. I just received your international letter dated 9/1/81. Prior to this, while I was living in Puri Dham, I also received the letter you sent on 31st of Shravan, 16/8/80. I have to look this up. I think it's okay. No, it's okay. Sorry. At the time, my body was ill, so I was not able to reply to your letter. Do forgive me for that. After consulting with my doctor, blank and blank, I have come to Vaidyanath Deoghar on 6/12/80 for a change of climate. Since I came here, I have been quite well. I am taking medicine regularly, taking prasad, and taking rest. I have not written a letter for a long time, and now I am writing one. I see that I have fallen out of practice. The water and air in Vaidyanath Deoghar is very healing. The natural scenery is also very enchanting. We have rented a house named Santosh Ashram from the management of Sri Balananda Ashram for a monthly 200 rupees. Renting a house for only 200 rupees a month. The environment in the ashram is very beautiful. In all four directions, temples, ponds, gardens of fruits, flowers, and vegetables have enhanced the beauty of the ashram. Vaidyanathji of Deoghar is a holy place famously mentioned in the Shiva Purana. Not too far away, about 35 to 40 miles, and especially worthy of seeing, is Sri Madhusudanji, atop Mandara mountain. This is where the churning of the ocean took place. I am very sad to find out that you have been attacked by typhoid. She was so sick that she was losing consciousness. I hope that both of you have since recovered. May Sri Bhagavan keep you healthy, and may you remain absorbed in Hari Bhajan without any worries. The perils of material existence have been and will always be there. Manastira kori nirjane bosiya, Krishna nama gavo jabe, sangsara phukara kane na poshibe. Deharoga durerove. When I can steady the mind sitting in a solitary place and sing the name of Krishna, then the call of material existence will not enter my ears, and the afflictions of the body will remain far away. What you wrote is true. Whatever occurs in worldly affairs, let it be. Whatever is going to happen, let it happen. Beholding the pure Vaishnavas and them, etc., is the only thing that brings auspiciousness to the conditioned soul. You too will never be cheated of the association of Vaishnavas. Śrīpad blank Māhārāja and various other pure-hearted Vaishnavas frequent where you are. This is a matter of great good fortune. You too have received the special mercy of the Vaishnavas, so there is no reason for you to have any worries. It is true that the supremely merciful Vaishnavas appear on the doorsteps of those immersed in family life in order to deliver and protect them from the blind well of family life. Their merciful glance is surely directed toward the souls of this world. You have written, "How long will it be till we see you again?" I do not want to be cheated of Vaishnava association in any way in this life. I am a Grihamedi. I have no qualification. Though we have committed hundreds of offenses, out of mercy, please forgive us. I do not have proper knowledge of language. I do not even have the qualification to write properly. All I wish for is that we attain your mercy and that your merciful gaze stays upon us. Only you can judge whether or not what you wrote me was accurate. Am I your superior, your custodian, or judge? I have never considered myself as such, nor do I now. So leave me out of this matter and do forgive me. You cannot recognize who I am. This is what is sad. I never make Vaishnavas accountable to me, and I have no desire to do so. I am involved in a Mat mission, and, as per the rules, I am bound to do something. I specially request you to kindly not take offense. They have invited me to go to Kashinagar. Is it not possible to go without invitation? Am I the only one who has lost my independence as an individual, so much so that I cannot tread the path in that direction? Should there be a comma there? Anyways, I'm just going to mark it to ask. Whenever I get the chance and convenience and have a need to, I will go right then. I have a sort of personal independence and viewpoint, which even my people in the Mat mission do not know about, and I do not let anyone know about it. I've repeatedly this is kind of neat. I'm probably not going to share this, but it's just, it's just about him as personally. This is letter 60, right? Okay. I have repeatedly obstructed your efforts to establish your temple in Kashinagar because I know that after a few days you will meet with the dilemma of rendering proper seva puja worship. Vedanta Samiti is not going to take on this homestead temple. I already explained this to you, so you would know beforehand. But you do not really listen to what I say. And now you are stuck in a difficult situation. Now, as I said, it is quite inconvenient. You cannot abandon Thakurji's Seva Puja to go anywhere for even 1 or 2 days. And you cannot even fathom how much more inconvenience you would be dealing with it. And you cannot even fathom how much more inconvenience you would be dealing with if you were actually doing the Seva Puja yourself with your own hands. Actually, that temple in Kashinagar, I stayed there a couple times on Bengal Prachar, and it was this family taking care of the Thakurji, but it's like a whole big temple, but it was just a little family. And I think that mat is now ours. It's like one of our prominent centers in Bengal. I have not seen your book, Bhakti Giti, before. Whether I received for my approval the submission from the Patrika office, all I did was tell you exactly what you needed to do to correct it. Some objections have come, and this is precisely why we, the Patrika team, have had to take certain measures. It certainly is and will remain my responsibility to see that no one finds fault in you, and also to make sure that you do not create any sort of inconvenience for the mission, knowingly or unknowingly. I have written to Shripad blank Maharaj and blank to bring the rest of the copies of Bhakti Giti on the day of Srila Guru Maharaj's disappearance festival. I heard you perhaps sent a single copy of the book to the Patrika office via someone. When you yourself were present, was it not proper for you to deliver them with your own hand? In the future, though, please do not print this book again. This too is my special request. I submit one more matter to you. I have heard that blank, who abandoned the Śrīvedānta Samiti Mutt, has at present left his saffron cloth and is working as a pujari at your place. He can leave the mutt and go home and enter family life, but I have not been able to understand whose permission you have received to keep him there. Is this how you are going to stay on good terms with the mutt? He could not find work in Belgachi at a tile factory, so it would be best if you do not keep him there. That sort of arrogant, convenience-seeking, and whimsical person can never find auspiciousness. If you let him go from your temple, I will be free of concern. I will not have a chance or the time to go to Kashinagar before Sri Vyas Puja. I still want to go one time later. For at least 3 months, from January onwards, I am forbidden to give classes and lead. So, if I go, I will have no option but just to remain seated. Please accept my prostrated obeisances. Convey my affectionate wishes and blessings to everyone there. Iti, Vaishnav Das Abhas, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Wow. That was heavy. Should I save this? I'm going to save it. I'll probably not share this one either, but I don't know. Maybe I'll share it. I like strong instructions for brahmacharis. It's good for me. Yes, Deogar, Rup Manjari's great grandfather's place. Right? Okay. Oh God, these letters are so heavy. These next two. Oh God, they're really intense. Okay. Heartbreak at the passing of Shriman Sundarananda Prabhu. The soulful service of Shriman Sundarananda Prabhu. Memorial services for him. Okay. Yeah, this is an intense letter. Okay, this is 1982. Kalyaniyasu, dear blank, I received your letter of 29/9/82 upon returning from Kolkata on 7/10/82. Sitting in the Kolkata Mat, I tried 2 or 3 times to write you a letter, but could not, the cause of which only you can understand. I wonder who forbade giving me the news, but I have come to know. Ma went to Kolkata and came to know of that awful news. I am very unfortunate. Otherwise, I would have been present for a final sight of my dear Shriman Sundarananda. Do you want to see a picture of Sundarananda? This was his personal sevak, a young boy. I'll show you. I remember Govinda Maharaj. Let me find it. Govinda Maharaj shared a picture of him before. And Srila Vāmana Goswami Maharaj writes a few letters about Sundarananda. Let me just find it. Govinda Maharaj Sundarananda. photos. Anyways, I'll show you a photo later on. I'll show you later on. Guru Māhārājas. Dang it, I can't find. Oops, photos. Anyhow, I'll show you later. No, Shivas has it. Okay. I'm very unfortunate, otherwise I would have not been present for a final sight of my dear Śrīmad Sundarananda. I trust you too were robbed of your composure and at a loss of what to do at such a sight. If, after falling ill and going through treatment, a child were to eventually pass on, it would not cause as much sorrow and heartbreak as this. It was such a traumatic incident, and all in a matter of 2 minutes. My heart is still in shock to this day. I cannot seem to forget about Śrīmad at all. When I was staying in Puri and was in the worst of health, he spent night after night sleepless, weeping by my side. Even when I forbade him, he fell at my feet and, in a choked voice, repeatedly made oaths to Supersoul, saying, "O Bhagavan, make my master well again. I cannot tolerate his suffering. Give him my longevity." When I heard him making statements of this sort, I chastised him mildly and told him that was not a way to talk, but he himself has managed to cut his lifespan short. I will go before you. This was Śrīmad's vow, and Sri Bhagavan fulfilled his wish. The son has gone in the presence of the father. Is this like Namacharya Sri Haridas vow and unrespectful demand? To this day, I cannot understand why Sri Bhagavan would give this kind of affection and attachment and make us forget him. What is the lesson in this? In Śrīmad's absence, today, the mission sannyasis and brahmacharis are numb with grief, and the grihastas are speechless at the news. Akash kande, vatas kande, kande tarulata. The sky cries, the air cries, and the trees and creepers cry. I have become a stone. I have no way to cry. I never thought, even in dreams, that I would have to endure such intolerable sorrow as that of losing a child. Even those with no sangsar have to experience the burn of sangsar. Sri Bhagavan, may your wishes be fulfilled. Only the Supersoul can properly know what is good and bad for the living entity. His profound pastimes are a burden to fathom. I came on 25/9/82. Śrīmad's memorial festival was on 26/9/82, and there was a memorial assembly that night. Shripad Narayan Maharaj and others were especially overwhelmed during their speeches. Everyone shared the same words. We will not find another devotee with such conviction in the service of Guru and Vaishnavas. There were memorial festivals. There's not closing quotation marks. There were memorial festivals in Shiliguri, Meghalaya, Mathura, Kolkata, and various other preaching centers. In the shade of your affection, I am somewhat well. If you make it your duty to become well, then I will be worry-free and happy. You are not going to cheat me like Sundarananda, are you? Even now, I cannot begin to write a proper memoir, as my mind is so agitated and numb. Accept my affections. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Okay, this is our last letter. Letter 62, the eternal service of Śrīmad Sundarananda Prabhu. Like Bhagavan, the bhaktas are controlled by love. The true servant conquers the heart of his master with love. The servant is honored and cherished. Awareness of one's true relationship with another enables an eternal connection with them. Glorifying the sacrifice of motherhood to meditate between a mother and daughter. Wait, what? Glorifying, and this should go up above. 1 second. Glorifying the sacrifice of motherhood to mediate between a mother and daughter, referring to himself as a disciple's son. This is written from Devananda Gaudiya in 1982 to Umadidi. Snehaspadasu. Ma Uma, I promptly received your affectionate letter dated 2/10/82. I gather that my previous letter gave you mental anguish and disturbed you. I was worried about that when I was writing that letter full of such sad news. But if I had not informed you of this pressing news, I would have been bidding my days in extreme unease. In revealing that to you, I have tried to lighten my heart somewhat. You are a loving mother, which is why I have sought solace from you. I have somewhat found that solace in this present affectionate letter of yours. Mother, though you were delighted to son on that day, it broke your heart to see his face downcast in the pain of loss. Surely this is very natural for such a loving mother as you. How the servant has brought the master under his control by his service, wherefore the master is overwhelmed and agitated in separation from the servant. Coming to know that you could perceive this too has made me indebted to you. Even though you adored Śrīmad Sundarananda and he was the object of your special affection, you have expressed the utmost regard for him, which is telling of your natural benevolence. What good fortune resulting from service Śrīmad has attained, to be like a shadow, rendering service that is deeply rooted in love, guarding and taking care of the object of his service, maintaining that connection for all time, even today, in both visible and invisible ways, through his absorption in service. This is of tangible realization. Your firm conviction is that he has donned a form appropriate for his service and is present with his master. May this conviction of yours be efficacious. Is that how you say that word? Anyways, may this conviction of yours be efficacious and become a reality. Although today you cannot see him in person, his is a fortune exclusively Although today you cannot see him in person, his is a fortune exclusively yearned for by genuine intimate sevaks and sevikas of Guru. Of this there is no doubt. You described an incident from Sri Bhagavan's pastimes in Dwarka as an example. As Sri Bhagavan's conduct does not entail mundane predilection, his weeping is not his weeping is not a material affair like the wailing of a conditioned soul caught in the grip of illusion. Nothing that is related to Bhagavan, who is beyond the senses, can be measured by the material senses, as that would be but an attempt at exerting material control. Vaishnavera kriya mudra vigye na bhujai. Learned men cannot fathom the gestures and activities of the Vaishnavas. The same applies to Sri Guru. This statement is so true and, being the word of scripture, is full of pertinent import. Although, like Sri Bhagavan, the bhaktas are completely independent, they become dependent by service. In other words, they adore their servants. The servant makes his master his own through intimate, loving service, and the master, out of loving mercy, also the servant his. This relationship between master and servitor are the object of service, and the servant is eternal, as this is Sambandha Gyan that perfectly establishes both in the eternal inner darshan. It is this Sambandha Gyan that perfectly establishes both in the eternal inner darshan. Okay, I got it. Oh, wait, let me reread this. This relationship between master and servitor. Okay, got it. Shri Guru Parma is the all in all of those who have taken shelter of him, the life of their lives. He who practices the pinnacle of service in all forms and manners is truly a Vishramba, intimate, or Snigdha, loving Sevak. He who can give his master so much love through the service that he conquers the heart of his master is deemed a true Sevak. Gurur Sevak hoy manya apanar. The servant of one's guru is vulnerable to oneself. This is applicable to all types of sevaks, whether kanishta, neophyte, or vishramba, intimate. Though considerations of varying qualifications in regard to sadhan bhajan are surely to be taken into account. Some are recipients of affection from certain people, whereas others are objects of service. The servant, being parama adharaniya jivan swarup, supremely adored and dearer than one's life, is cherished and venerated, for he is a recipient of love and affection. There is no room for misunderstanding in such a dynamic, there is no room for misunderstanding in such a dynamic, and so the notion of God cannot even interfere. Dedicated service, simplicity, amiability, and other such heart-winning behaviors enchant absolutely everyone. These are the special qualities of the sevak. The love besmeared and laughing faces of those who are beloved, as well as their loving words, which permeate their sweet dealings, conquer each and everyone's heart, while the opposite sort of temperament, that of anguish, sorrow, and grief, impairs people's hearts. Too often, the living entity's mental goals and ambitions find no refuge and fade into material creation. But if they find a genuine connection, their ambitions meet with response. If both parties are cognizant of their true relationship, then it is possible to maintain the connection between them. Only then does milan, meeting, and viraharation really become a matter of experience. A daughter has feelings like attachment, tolerance, anger, and jealousy. For her loving mother, affection, hopes, compassion, tenderness, possessiveness, love, fondness, blessings, pride, and ego are natural. The daughter needs and seeks love, and the mother is the giver of that love, keen on her daughter's well-being and showering her with blessings. So, if you consider each other's natural disposition, it is possible to achieve reconciliation. Another thing to consider is that these dispositions are a matter of inner realization and experience. They are spontaneous and in accord with the living entity's souls. No one must decide who has what adhikar, what right authority. That is something realized spontaneously in the heart. For the doting mother, pride and ego are natural. A mother can never give up on her dependents, and the fact that she has held them in her womb speaks of her endurance. Why would someone who's accepted sorrow and pain as her duty lose her patience? To label her an undiscerning mother would be a denial of truth and would amount to being ungrateful. To forgive such a foolish child is a mother's natural compulsion and characteristic of her love. A mother and son can have a lot of discussion and questions and answers. It can also take a long time to test the relationship, but everything depends on the loving mother's compassion. Kindness, proper direction, and instruction are certainly necessary. If the mother blesses her child with her heart and soul, the son will never become conceited. If we can make it vow to yearn for the service of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas with the natural and simple propensity of our hearts, then we can never meet with peril and misfortune. This I firmly believe. Who is going to bless whom? A qualified person can bless only a wretched, destitute, unworthy person. That means one who is not wretched does not need blessing. These are supposed to be footnotes. So, if the mother is capable of blessing the love-hungry son, then the son must be helpless and unworthy. Who is fallen and destitute? Who is going to test whom and cast judgment in this regard? Do not turn your back on your son. This is a request of you. You will surely have to change the tone you wrote your letter in. Otherwise, your son will be dissatisfied. If you keep recognizing your love for your son, you will surely be able to fulfill my requests in order. We will discuss in person who is whose refuge. Please accept my loving salutations. If you are displeased, I will forget about writing you and meeting with you in person. What more can I say? Praying for the mercy of the loving Vaishnavas. Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. All right, that's our reading for today. Wow, today's letters were extra special, I feel, weren't they? I'm going to save this one quote. Where was that? If we make it our life's vow to yearn for the service of Sri Guru and Vaishnava, the natural and simple propensity of our hearts, we can never meet with peril and misfortune. This I firmly believe. Good quote, huh? Letter 62. All right. What am I doing? All right. Sorry, I could do this after, couldn't I? Okay. Oh, Roop Manjari, sometimes in some of the songs, they don't have a Chandra Bindu on Kande. They actually write the word Kande, like with a danta na. That's, yeah, and I think I checked that actually. Yeah. It's written in a few places in the song. All right. Thank you for reading with me, everybody. Wait, I shouldn't post what, Roop Manjari? You can let me know what things I should redact. Let me know. All right. Jai Shri Radhe. See you all for tomorrow's reading. Hare Krishna.